In one of America's least diverse medical fields, Black veterinarians make up just 1.2% of the profession. But in Houston, a handful of trailblazers are changing that, one clinic, one student, one mentorship at a time.
Definitely one of the glaring things is the cost of attending veterinary school. It is astronomical now. Most students have student loan debts upwards of $200,000. And, just coming from an area or a place that, you might already be kind of disadvantaged, it's kind of hard to come into a career where even some of the more well-off people are leaving school with debt. And so that's probably the one thing, the first main thing is just the outrageous debt. I'd probably say the second thing that is keeping African Americans away from the profession is just really it's the lack of role models and representatives in this field. It's something that has been dominated majority by Caucasians forever. And one of the reasons why I joined was because I wanted to continue to help close that diversity gap, to be kind of just a positive role model for upcoming African American children, women, girls, or boys that may be interested in being a vet one day. Because I know that for myself, a lot of the steps and things that I had to get through, I didn't really have anybody that looks like me that I can relate to on a more personal level, and the things that we go through as African Americans. It was something that I didn't have. So I knew that coming into this field, one of my main goals was to inspire more minorities and African Americans to be able to say, hey, you can do it, you can get into this field, and you can be just as impactful as anybody else.
After being rejected from vet school once, Warren refused to give up.
Yeah, so I've always been the type of person who I don't ever give up, especially after the first time that I get rejection. Honestly, I somewhat embrace rejection because rejection helps you to grow. It helps you to learn from your mistakes. And so going into that first time I applied and I got rejected, I knew there was things that I needed to do better. I knew that my grades could have been better. I knew that I could have got better experience. And I used that rejection. The pain was there, but I used that to help invigorate me and say, you know what, you have room to improve. You know what you need to do to improve. And it was just all about finding those opportunities. So that's when I went into a master's program. I did a master's. I got a job. So I was working, doing a master's. And at that time, I also was running track at A&M. So I was just keeping myself busy, staying focused. And I knew that the end goal was vet school. And so I said, I'm going to do these things, be intentional about my studies, be intentional about getting as much experience as I can. And with the experience, I was working at the large animal hospital at the time. I also was doing an externship with Aggieland Safari at that time. So I was doing a lot of things that were really putting myself in a position to be better. And I got mentors that really knew how to help me get to that point of being more competitive second time around. So it was just my determination, I would say. My determination and my drive to be able to go out there and, I knew that school was something I really wanted to do, and I knew the path that I needed to get there. So it was just about putting in that hard work and staying determined. And for people who may have gotten rejected and are struggling, I would just say that if this is something you really want to do, one rejection isn't going to keep you away. Stay focused, be ready to adapt to anything, and stay positive. Rejections can be negative, but if you view it from a positive perspective and how it can help you grow, you'll be able to conquer anything.
In Southwest Houston, Dr. Adria Flowers and Dr. Therese Sullivan run one of the city's few Black women-owned animal hospitals, Skyline Animal Hospital.
I would say my mom. To be completely honest, that's who got me into the doors of my first veterinary clinic. So at the time, my mom was a counselor, and she would do career day at her school, and she went up to the veterinarians and, hey, my daughter wants to be a veterinarian. Can she shadow or do whatever at your veterinary clinic? Granted, my mom is not the one who is the fondest of animals, but she believed in me. So whatever I wanted to do, she was going to have my back, no matter what. And then from there, I spent my summers, and even before I applied for vet school, are you sure again? Okay, well, let's do it. And so she's been my biggest supporter throughout my career. All the challenges that I have faced, she's been right there with me. And even when we open up Skyline, on occasion she'll come in here and greet clients and decorate and different things. So she's very proud of me, and she's stood beside me for all 8 years of schooling.
It's a great story. Did you have someone like that?
Sure, yes. Both of us stand on the shoulders of very strong Black women mothers. Mm-hmm. So my mother is my greatest inspiration. She pretty much set the tone for me for achievement and excellence. She is the first African American female admiral in the Navy. And the adversity that she had to go through to get there, I saw that firsthand, and I just saw how she just triumphed above it, and I knew that that was something that I had to do to get to where I wanted to be. So she supported me throughout the way, through college, through grad school, through veterinary school, and through opening up this clinic as well. So I'm very grateful for her.
Yes, like I say, it'd be belittling. You enter the room, I'm Dr. Flowers. I can do the whole exam for the pet, give my diagnosis, my treatment plan, and afterwards they can say, where's the doctor at? Meaning that I'm not the same knowledge as someone that is of non-minority status. And it happens quite honestly all the time. Practices where the staff knows me very well, there's still the same question that comes up in 2025. And it's very shocking to hear. At the same time, it's kind of a numb feeling because it happens so often, which led us to open, like I said, Skyline, because we have created a path, like Dr. Sullivan said, for mentorship and representation throughout the community.
During vet school, there's a lot of microaggressions, a lot of being told that you don't qualify to be there despite meeting or exceeding the admissions requirements. I went into veterinary school with a master's degree and 3 or 4 peer-reviewed publications, and I was still being told that I wasn't qualified to be there. And from there on, you have microaggressions that you're dealing with from colleagues. As Dr. Flowers mentioned, there's a lot of moving goalposts and glass ceilings that occur. I can recall a time where I was a guest speaker at a conference, a veterinary conference, and I went to go to get my registration completed, and I was told point blank at the door saying that this is only for speakers, while my white colleagues were able to walk right in and not questioned at all. So these are things that we deal with on a regular basis. So for the community, we know that better health for the animals is tied to better health for the people. So we know that, and we try to be a part of that, part of the One Health initiative, in the way in which we are caring for these people's pets. And now we're finding out that pets are becoming a really important member of the family, as opposed to, times before when it was considered, when pets may have been considered as a possession or a piece of property, now they're really becoming part of the family. So we're getting ahead of things like Dr. Flowers was talking about with public health of zoonotic disease, making sure that pets are vaccinated against rabies, making sure that they're vaccinated against leptospirosis, which are both zoonotic diseases, and making sure that they are free of parasites, and making sure that their overall wellness and health status is up to par. And that makes our community healthier and happier.
From classrooms to clinics, these veterinarians are shaping a more inclusive future, aiming to prove that care, compassion, and courage have no color.
I would just like to say that, going back to what I was saying earlier, this field can feel like it's scary to get into, especially for a minority, African American, really any minority. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And I just want to encourage anybody who even has an inkling of an idea that this might be something that they want to do, to listen to that feeling. Go out there, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to fail, because you will. It's going to happen. Don't be afraid to fail. Learn from those failures. And this profession can be an amazing journey. And you don't know where it'll take you. So just stay encouraged and join veterinary medicine.